Drew, I know these are things you'd rather address after the season, but it's hard not to notice you 2 touchdown passes away from being the all-time leader. Is that something that, throughout the season or any time you reflect on as it's going?
No, I think obviously before the season, you're a certain distance away, but then once the season starts, you're just focused on winning games, right? And doing what I need to do as the quarterback of this team to put us in the best position to succeed and to win. And so, with that, I guess the statistics come, and maybe they add up, and then all of a sudden you're close enough to, be within striking distance of some of those things. But really not thinking about it, just focusing on this opponent just like we would any other opponent, making it the most important game of the season, and knowing that we need our best execution in order to be successful, and also just continuing to build. We want to be an ascending team. We want to be playing our best football at the end of the season here, because those are the teams that typically do the best in the playoffs, and I don't think we've reached our full potential yet. I'm still wanting to see that, from all of us. So that's what we're building towards.
What level of efficiency do you believe you guys are at right now? You score 46, and you say you're still not where you want to be.
Well, every game is different. Some games you walk away from, and maybe the statistics don't tell the story. I think for me, it's so much of it is situational football, right? How did you execute with the situations in the game? The critical third downs, the red zone efficiency, taking care of the football, capitalizing on big play opportunities, rushing the football, just being efficient in every phase. I look back on that game, and yeah, we scored 46, but man, there was an opportunity here or there to maybe convert what was a field goal into a touchdown, or we were just on the outskirts of field goal range when maybe one more play could have gotten us, another 3 points, and that would have been the difference in the game. So you always analyze little things like that, and I definitely feel like we can be better.
On that note, you mentioned just working on yourselves. How much is just having a primetime game on a Monday just to prepare you guys for the postseason? How much can that really just get you guys to keep working on?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's like our 6th primetime game of the year, So I'm not gonna minimize the meaning of what a Monday night football game is at home, and just how excited we get about that and our fans. But again, you approach every game the same. It's not like, oh, we're playing on Monday night, let's crank it up a notch. No, we're always thinking about improving and playing our best football, regardless of who's watching.
So Drew, rhythm-wise, do you feel like you are where you normally would be this time of the season? It's game 13, but you missed the 5. But do you feel like you are where you normally would be?
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't think we're hitting on all cylinders. I still think there's plays to be made, and so that's what we continue to work on and strive for.
Can you recall a season where you've had so many just key injuries to key players, not only on the offensive side, but also recently on the defensive side? Can you recall a season like that?
Yeah, I mean, we've had quite a few of those around here. But I would say maybe what's unique is to have all those injuries and to be sitting here at 10-3. So having guys step up and really play well and be key contributors, and add depth, in areas where, maybe in years past we haven't had that depth. Or we haven't had that young talent or that person to step in and do that job. So that's a big kudos to all the guys who have stepped up and done that.
Drew, this is a little bit offbeat, but Joe Burrow says he grew up idolizing you. Have you met him, spoken to him, anything like that?
No, that's the first I heard of that. That's cool. I like he wears number 9. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate his story. Midwest kid, right? Goes to Ohio State. It doesn't work out. Makes his way to LSU, and he's going to be the Heisman winner. He's leading his team to the BCS playoff game and hopefully the national championship. So you want to root for guys like that, right? That have to travel that tough road and face some adversity and overcome it and come out better on the other side. He's been fun to watch. It's fun to watch him operate in that offense. It's obviously there's some carryover from Joe Brady being here and going there, and you see certain things at times where you're like, wait a minute, that looks familiar, but he's executing it to perfection. He's making the most out of every play, out of every situation. He's highly efficient. I mean, I got to think he's going to break the completion percentage record, or did, right? 78, 79%, something like that. I mean, come on, that's spectacular. And obviously they seem to have a great team. And what I mean by that is, man, they seem to really play for one another. they seem to feel like they got something special, and so I hope they go all the way.
Yeah, as a Heisman finalist, how was it for you when you went through that process?
Listen, it's exciting, I mean, for me, listen, kid growing up in Texas, football was huge, obviously, but I never thought that football would take me anywhere. I played football because I love the game, but I loved all kinds of sports. I mean, I wanted to be a baseball player. I didn't think football was going to provide me certainly with this opportunity. So when I got to Purdue, I was thinking, man, I'm going to get a great education. Maybe play a little ball, but I'm going to get a great education. That's where my mind was. But hey, Joe Tiller shows up with the spread offense, and we start throwing it 50 times a game in the Big Ten, and shock the system a little bit. And next thing you know, people are talking about me being in the Heisman race and getting a chance to go to New York and the Downtown Athletic Club and be there with guys like, let's see, my junior year it was Ron Dane, Peter Warwick, Joe Hamilton, Chad Pennington, right? And then my senior year it was Chris Winkie, Josh Heupel, myself, and LaDainian Tomlinson. So you go. Oh, Mike Vick. Mike Vick was my junior year, as well. So, like you go with guys like that, and you're just like, man, that's it's such a cool experience, And for me, it was like, I don't think I'm winning. I'm just gonna enjoy the moment, enjoy the opportunity to be here and to meet these guys and to be a part of something that is pretty historically significant, for college football.
Drew, it kind of looked like you were shaking out your arm a little bit during the game, and the sleeve. Like, did you take a shot to the arm, or?
Yeah. Just in that final drive, but it's all good.
At this point of the season, are you guys your harshest critics? At this point of the season?
Yeah, I always feel like we're our harshest critics. Regardless of what's being said outside the building, we don't really hear that because nobody really knows what's going on outside the building. Only we do. And so, yeah. So let's just say we would have won that game, and people might have been singing our praises in certain ways, right? To me, you're still thinking about maybe the plays that got away or the opportunities that you should have capitalized on, and just continue to improve because we want to be playing our best football as the regular season comes to a close and as we enter the playoffs.
Drew, Sunday nights usually when you do the meetings. You got some downtime on Sunday afternoon. Are you gonna kind of watch a few other games, see what's going on, check the standings a little?
Yeah, man, I'm a football fan. Yeah, so I'll watch ball. I'll watch the game tonight with my boys. Go see Lamar Jackson, see what those guys are doing. Yeah, listen, we love ball and we love watching it. It's hard to watch it as a fan. I think I'm cursed for life. I don't watch football as a fan. You're always analyzing and especially I think the NFL game because you either played the team or you might play the team or you're just a fan and you're just interested in what they're doing. Maybe it's different, it's unique, and there's things that you could draw from that.
Do you look at the standings though?
Oh, no.
No, you don't. When you watch the games, like, oh, that team's number one. We kind of possibly need these guys to lose. Do you watch the game like that, or you just do more enjoyment? Because there's only 3 games left in the season.
Yeah. No, I mean, sometimes there's games that you say that could possibly affect what's happening, but for the most part, you're just watching ball.
Drew, does that mean like while you're watching with your kids, you're gonna be like you rewind it constantly and like
no.
get replays and everything, or you can?
No, you just you let it go. You want it to be in real time. It makes you think fast. I mean, you gotta kind of play situations quickly in your mind. You can't see the whole field either, right? But you're kind of guessing what's happening on the back end based upon what you see, with the front. But no, it's just. It's fun because then, something will happen and the boys will want to reenact it, and so all of a sudden it's, spin moves around the coffee table and diving catches onto the couch.
So, Drew, is it tough to watch a game with you? Are you trying to break down everything, or are you just
No.
sometimes when you've been in the game this long, you can be like, oh, I saw that linebacker come in, this and that, while you're in the middle of a game.
No, it's hard not to maybe call things out, when maybe you feel a pressure coming and you know where the exposed area in the defense is, and maybe if you know the team and kind of their tendencies offensively or where their playmakers are on the field at the time, you can kind of guess where the ball's going.
So you're barking at something to Balin right before it's going to happen possibly while you're watching?
Yeah, oh, for sure, yeah.
Hey, Drew, I'm curious. Do you know how many times you or the team has scored the go-ahead touchdown or go-ahead field goal within 2 minutes and not won? And how do you handle those situations? Do you ever come away from a game thinking, like, we did everything, we did enough to win. We just
No. I mean, you listen. In an ideal situation, you know, we score with 15 seconds left and don't give them an opportunity. You know, last year, you know, we're playing the Steelers at the end of the season, right? And we score with 50-something seconds left, and I'm thinking, with that offense on the other side, I rather would not have left them with 50-something seconds. And they drive down and get in our territory, but then we cause a fumble and we get it and we win, right? But listen, there's all those scenarios, you know, where, I mean, did the Texans want to give us 30 seconds left, you know, in that Week 1 win, right? So there's good players all over the field, right? And so I think you like to be the one maybe with the last opportunity.
I guess how mindful are you in those situations where it's like, are you just concentrating on just trying to score, or are you also looking at the clock kind of
No,
at the same time?
listen. Part of your job as a quarterback is to be a clock manager, right? And as a head coach and as a team, I mean, just that's situational awareness, right? And so the more that you can control the clock in those situations, again, it's about maximizing opportunities, and it's also about, you know, making it the toughest you possibly can for the opponent, right? And so there's a lot that happens at the end of the half and at the end of a game where you're really focusing on those things, on clock management, on timeouts, you know, all the things that can affect, you know, those situations.
Drew, when you play the Colts, does it automatically trigger like Super Bowl memories for you?
What's that?
When you play the Colts?
No. I mean, it's completely different teams, right? No, I mean, even back in, we played them in 09, and then we played them again in 11, right? Yeah. So even 2 years later, you know, there's a lot of different faces and just, you know, different seasons. So even at that point, it wasn't something that, I guess something that's rare is, hey, they're AFC, we're NFC. You only see them once every 4 years, right? So it's not like we've had a chance to play them many times.
Now, Drew, having seen Will Lutz now several years in pressure situations, how much confidence do you guys have when he goes out there?
Yeah.
He's going to
Listen, yeah, I mean, a lot of confidence, and I think that's just, man, the flow and the rhythm of what you create, you know, as a team with kind of that, man, it's that back and forth, but, man, just give us a chance to drive down and put him in position to kick a game winner or, you know, score and, you know, put our defense in a situation where, man, they can, you know, come up with a big stop or, you know, whatever it might be, you know, but, yeah, there's a lot of confidence there with Will.
What have you seen from Justin Houston, and maybe what's made him dangerous as a defensive end?
Well, he's very powerful. He's got a litany of pass rush moves. I mean, he's been one of the better pass rushers in this league for a long time now. So, yeah, he's a playmaker.
When you're talking about playing the team's best football, is that you need to get Alvin going a little bit more to get to that point, do you think?
I mean, listen, there's a balance from game to game, right? I mean, count all the playmakers that we have on offense and all the guys that we want to get the ball, and, you know, you divide that by, you know, hopefully 70, 72 plays, right? And there's just only so many balls to go around. And so from game to game, and there's going to be those games where Alvin touches it 25 times, and maybe there's other games where it's only 15, but all of a sudden Jared Cook, man, had the matchup that game, and all of a sudden his numbers were up, or Traquan, or, you know, the guys that maybe you wouldn't think of, and yet, hey, it was their opportunity. So from game to game, I think it varies, but I'd say just consistently, we'd say, man, Alvin is one of our playmakers. We want to get him the ball. We want to give him opportunities.
Now that he's in his third year, have you seen teams throw new stuff at him that's made it kind of tougher to get him those explosives?
No, I think it's just been just a lack of opportunities for whatever reason over the last probably 5 weeks. You know, maybe not the same as what we've seen, you know, in the past, or maybe that he had last year or even early in the season. But, you know, and then he was out for 2 games this year, and, you know, keep that in mind. So, listen, I think his time is coming, and his opportunities are coming.